Okay. Alright, let's see. I don't think we have to be... Well, we can be close to the mic, but... Maybe we'll turn it down a little bit. As I was watching back the VOD from yesterday, it was a little bit poppy. It was a little bit poppy. Maybe I should get a pop filter. Might not be a bad idea. Or maybe the mic just doesn't have to be quite as close. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour. Let's see. Let's maybe bend this in a little bit. See if we can tilt this a little bit. Get it away from my mouth a little bit. Maybe that'll sound better. I'm going to do my best to keep an eye on the mic levels. Let's turn the music down a little bit too. Okay. Bonjour. Bonjour. Let's do a little testapoo. A little testarito. Okay, that works over there. Over here. We see it there. Beautiful. Okay. What is going on? Man, that white screen is bright. Maybe let's try to get the dark reader going. Let's get the dark reader going. How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing good. I had a good day. I hope you did too. Having a little glass of wine again. Do a little cheersy. I know nobody's here, so a little cheers for myself. That's okay. That's okay. Let's see what we got going on. Extensions. Can I close this window and then reopen this window? Let's see. I don't want to show you guys my window yet. Open new window. And history. Recently closed Windows. Recently closed Windows. Reopen all windows. Yeah, YOLO. Reopen all of them. Okay. Oh, so it was the add-on manager was the one. Okay. Close Firefox, close the extensions. Close this. Close Canva. Close this. Okay, let's see. Okay, so Dark Reader's being a little bit sousy. Okay, let's see. Because this is a little bit aggressive. This is a little bit aggressive. But is that better? That's better. That's nice. Okay. Well, yeah, we're just going to have a cozy, chill little stream tonight. What time is it? Almost 9 o'clock. Are my audio levels too aggressive? Maybe I'll turn it down a little bit. Maybe that'll be a little bit better. We'll test that after. Hopefully it's not too bad. Maybe we'll test it now. Nobody's here anyways. Let's go to another window. And let me see how this is sounding. How this is sounding. I mean, that sounds good to me. Let's just do one more test. Let's just do one more test. Yeah, I mean, I think it sounds fine. I think it sounds... I mean, ideally, I'd probably turn off the music and stuff, but that's fine. Okay, let's pause this. If anybody comes in and if I'm too quiet or anything like that, then you guys can let me know. But I think that's all good over there. Okay. Sick. All right, so we're just gonna be switch to the main scene. I guess I should make sure that there's nothing crazy going on with this. Yeah, that all seems fine. Extensions are fine. Anything spicy going on down here? Oh, there's a lot of OBS. What's going on with OBS? That was weird. Okay. Not a whole lot going on down here. This is all... Maybe this isn't ideal. maybe we remove that for now. Okay. So I think what we're going to do is we'll go back and we'll just set things up, because I went through the first chapter on Learn CPP, and I think we'll just go back through and breeze it just as a little refresher. But also when we're installing and setting up the IDE, I was doing it for Visual Studio initially to make things a little bit easier to set up right out the gate, but I do have things already half set up in VS Code, and I just like VS Code a lot better, honestly. Not that I've really used Visual Studio much at all, to be honest with you, so maybe it's unfair, but yeah, I think ideally we want to get things set up using Visual Studio Code. Might be a little bit more headache, but I think it would be good, even if it takes a little bit of extra effort, to help learn the fundamentals of, you know, using the compiler and what's going in to all that on the back end. So, yeah, that's good. Let's just do a little breezy overview. These are some things that C++ is good at. We want to use it for, I mean, ideally video games. We're going to be making game engine. So, high frequency change, real time. It's very efficient, you know, graphical application simulations. This is huge. This is the direction that I want to be taking my career in as well. So I think, almost knocked my white over. That's rough. Could have been rough. Yeah, it'll be fun just to learn some, I guess, get the C++ skills up to at least where my Python's at, and not even hopefully, but definitely we'll get it higher. We're gonna go in a bit on CPP. Yeah. So a lot of people are still using C++. We also, I don't know C, so that's fine. We're just gonna rip through. Cool. Yeah, we're not doing any embedded systems or IoT stuff. But if you're into that, maybe C might be good for you. Okay. Moving on. How do those programs get developed? Yeah, so this is the thing I was talking about yesterday. I was talking about the debugger in Visual Studio, because normally when you're debugging with Python, you can debug it as it's running, essentially, which, you know, makes sense. You can go through line by line as it's getting executed. You can see where things are happening. That also works when working on web apps. Any stack that I've used, you're able to use the built-in debugger in Chrome, or I mean, I haven't really used the Firefox one, but I'm sure there's a Firefox one as well. That's not bad. Or I've been able to run it, you know, locally, again, using extensions in VS Code, and you can kind of debug in a similar way. But I guess I don't have enough C++ knowledge, so I'm just curious as to how that would work with C++, because this is my understanding that you need to compile it, and then once it's compiled, then when you link everything together, then you can run the program. But then when you run the program, then you debug it to see if it has any errors, and if it does have any errors, then you have to recompile it to fix it, so you can't change it on the fly. So what does the debugging look like? Will it still tell you at what part in the code the error is coming from? I mean, it must. It wouldn't just tell you, hey, your output's wrong, so like let's go debug it. Like, and I'm sure it would throw an error on a certain line, but because it's just when it's compiling, it's just converting the C++ code into machine instructions, essentially. So if one of the machine instructions was erroring out, then I guess that would relate it to, or connect it to the line, the C++ line, is my understanding. This is one of the reasons too why I want to be streaming. This is really, I think, going to be good for me and my learning and my understanding. I like talking things out, and I like teaching. Not that I'm going to be really in a position to teach for a little while. But yeah, it's almost treated like a study group, you know? I do well in study groups, much better than studying on my own. So even though it's just me in here right now, pretending like there's other people in here is helpful for me. So that's why we're doing this. So to find the problem, yeah, determine how you're going to solve this problem. Yeah, this is just like software engineering stuff. Problem, design a solution. Yeah, write a program. Well, I mean, these steps are very all-encompassing, depending if you're talking about system design. But I mean, if we're talking about just not low level, but I guess like a small thing. Like, I mean, to find the problem to solve, I mean, write a game engine, for example. You know, what if you're trying to build a scientific computing platform? You know, something that might take multiple developers, multiple years to build. I mean, that's not how this is going to go down, but I get what he's coming from. This is very simple. You know, if we're doing a hello world or doing something very basic, then yeah, this is understandable. And we had let me just see. We had the hello world repo already built from before, so maybe we'll redo it again for VS Code. That'll be a good idea, I think. Okay. Determine how you're going to solve the problem. Yeah, it is pretty neglected in software development. It's true. A lot of times, especially if it's a small problem, people will just hop in. I mean, me included. I've done this all the time. And you just start ripping code. You just start developing. You just start going for it. But it's not an ideal way to go about things. It's good to at least take a little bit of time to figure out what you're going to do instead of just writing it. I mean, you could just start writing it in certain use cases and then maybe detangle it after, or realize, things as you go along. But depending on the scope, again, and what you're trying to build, might not be the best idea. There is many ways to solve a problem. Yeah. Some are good, some are bad. Too often, yes, exactly. Immediately start coding. Yeah. Yeah, that's very fair. It's kind of like when you're writing an essay. You want to brainstorm it. You want to think about your flow first, even though you have an idea, and you'll know the idea of the essay. You'll know all the things that you want to say. It's still good to brainstorm and at least loosely plan out the flow that you're going to go with, and what you're going to talk about in each paragraph. What themes, what's the point of each one. And even just doing that really quickly can be really beneficial for what you're working on. Typically, good solutions have the following characteristics: straightforward, well documented, built modularly. Yep. I was going to say build modularity. That's not a word. Yep. And then this also comes down to good, you know, system design, or the, you know, like the design principles where you have the different, like if we go to NeetCode, for example, roadmap, practice, system design, courses, design patterns. The design patterns is what I'm talking about. Yeah. These are usually pretty good. I need to study these as well. I need to go over these some more. This is pretty good when you're trying to plan out a solution. You can use some pre-established patterns to help for that. Recover gracefully, yep. Use error messages, yep. That's always good to have. You sit down, start coding. Gotta do something super fastest. Yep. Have lots of bugs. Yeah. Yeah, it's worth to spend a little bit of time up front. So I tackle a problem. Cool. Okay, so we'll do it in the future. So maybe they'll talk about design patterns, design principles. Who knows? Okay. Okay. So, ready to write the program? Yes. Text editor? Yes. Yep. Yep. Yep, this is fine. Cool. Yep. Many C++ programs only have one source code file. Okay. Oh, simple ones. Okay, but larger ones can have hundreds or thousands of source code files. Okay. Each source code file in your program will need to be saved to disk. Okay. Which means, okay, we're gonna open a little, let's see. Would this be under game dev? Maybe we'll make a new folder called CPP. And maybe we'll put that in game dev, and then we'll make a new note just called learn CPP. Nobody said it was easy. Okay, so I just got a little notes file open on my other monitor over there. There we go. And let's actually close down a bunch of these things. I have a bunch of things open you guys might be interested in, but maybe not as well. Okay, learn CPP. Yeah, so each source code file will need to be saved to disk. That's pretty self-explanatory. So we'll define it. Doesn't have any requirements. The standard is to name the main, or the first one, the main CPP. Okay. Okay. You might occasionally see the first primary source code file named after the name of the program instead. Okay. You might also see other extensions. Okay. Okay, let's take note of that. Just gonna take some notes over there, and I'll format those after. Let's read your program. The next steps are to convert this source code into something that can be run. and see whether it works. Yes. Okay, here we go. This is the stuff that I'm talking about. What do we got going on in C++? Oh, man. Ooh, that is nice. Step 4. Write a program, compile the program. Okay, here we go. So in order to compile source code files, we use a compiler. Yeah, this compiler goes through each source code file and does two things. First, the compiler checks that the C++ code follows the rules. Okay. If not, we'll get a compile error. Okay. Got it. The compilation process will also be aborted until the error is fixed. Okay. So the code needs to be able to be compiled. That makes sense. So what would be a compilation error? Maybe missing a semicolon? C++ uses semicolons, I'm pretty sure. So maybe that would cause it. Second, the compiler translate your code into the machine language. Yeah, these instructions are stored in an intermediate file called an object file. Okay, so the object file also contains other data that is required or useful in the subsequent steps, included data used by the linker. Oh my god. And for debugging. Oh my god. Okay. Object files are typically named name or name object, where name is the name. Okay. So we have a C++ file. It gets compiled into an object file. The object file is in machine language, but the object file also has other stuff that we need. Okay. For example, if your program had 3 CPP files, the compiler would make 3 object files. That makes total sense. Sources compilers are available for many different operating systems. So that's another thing that I have going on. I have that there, the MSys stuff. So I have MinGW, I have Clang, I have the URCT64. I believe that's a main one that I've used before. I think these are all just different compilers. Like, let me see. MSys URCT64 versus Clang versus... What was the other one? It wasn't... So then GCC comes up as well too. MinGW. MinGW 64. Like, so MSys2 offers several environments for developing Windows applications, each with distinct. So these are environments, okay, regarding compilers, runtimes, and compatibility. The primary environments. Oh, these are the 3 of these are the 3 primary environments. So, okay. So these are different environments that might use different compilers. So we're using, in URCT, we're using the GCC compiler, which is the one that I'm familiar with. But Clang is using a different compiler. So now what's the point of a different compiler? Why are they doing different things? Runtime library. Aha. And they're using a different standard library. Oh. Compatibility? 10 or later? Runs on older Windows versions. Oh. Oh, so this is an older runtime. Okay. So we don't want to use MinGW, most likely. It's considered depreciated. Uh-huh. Language prefix. Ah. The URCT versus... Oh. This is MinGW. So this is MinGW. So the URCT one is MinGW also, but it's MinGW 64. Even... What? Wait, hang on. No, you just say URCT. Yeah. Because they're both the same. It's just this one we're just adding in the URCT on it. But then for Clang, yeah, we just add in Clang. 10 or later, for full offers modern compiler features potentially better error message and faster compilation. Okay, so maybe we're gonna be rocking with Clang. The most significant differences is in the C runtime library. URCT and Clang utilize the modern. I keep saying URCT instead of UCRT as well. That's my bad. UCRT. NGW uses the older. Okay, compiler. Widely adopted and mature. Clang uses Clang. Known for advanced features and modern architecture. Targeting older Windows versions, use MinGDub. For modern development, we want to use UCRT or Clang. Okay. Oh, but Clang comes with a sanitizer for runtime error detection, which is not typically available. So I think we want to be using Clang, but it'll be good to know kind of what we're doing within these differences. Ooh, this is exciting. This is exciting. Okay, so we have different compilers, we have different runtimes, we have different environments that do different things. Okay. Then we link our object files and our libraries and create an output file. Okay, so the compiler has finished. Then we're going to use the linker. Holy moly. The linker combines all the object files to produce an output file, which would be an executable. Okay. If any step in the linking process fails, the link will generate an error message. Okay. First, the linker reads each of the object files, to make sure it's valid. Second, the linker ensures that all cross-file dependency are resolved properly. For example, if you define something in one and then use it in a different, the linker connects them. Okay, so the linker is what's actually making that connection between files. Interesting. See, a lot of this stuff is just in Python. You just do it and it just does it. Like, if the linker is unable to connect a reference to something with its definition, you'll get a linker error. Okay. All right. Third, the linker typically links in one more. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust I got a little blanket. I like getting cozy. Excuse me, with my blanket. Okay. Links in one or more library files. Okay. That's like the standard library. It could be other stuff as well. Yeah, okay. Okay, so maybe I'm going to make some notes of this actually, because this is good. Compiling. This is valuable. Okay, let's read to. Okay. First the compiler. Second, it does this. Okay. All right. Okay. After the compiler finished, the linker kicks in. The linker's going to do stuff. So the linker's going to do this, then it does this, then it does this, then it does this. So we're just copying all this. That's useful. All right. So comes with the extensive standard library. Yeah. I said use capabilities of your programs. Most commonly used parts. The standard library is the I/O. Yep, the I/O stream. Okay, functionality. Yep. Almost every program utilizes the standard library in some way. So extremely common to have. Yes. Linked to your programs. Most linkers are configured to link the standard library by default. So this generally isn't something that you need to worry about. Interesting. Okay. You can add other libraries, which makes sense. Yes. These are like packages. So in C++, they're libraries. Python, we call them packages. So libraries. It'd be good to get the terminology down as well. Okay, because there's multiple steps involved, the term building is often used to refer to the full process of converting source code files into the executable. Okay, yeah. Specific example, specific executable produced is called the build. Okay. Building is the whole thing. No. Build automation tools, yes, such as Make. So now I want to figure out or learn about Make and CMake as well, because as far as I know, CMake is like a step above Make. Like CMake is, I don't want to say a framework, but like a set of instructions that at the end it makes a Make file, is my loose understanding of it. But I'll have to learn about that. So these are build automation tools. So Make is a build automation tool. Let's make note of that too. So they're used to help automate the process of building programs and running automated tests. They're not part of the C++ core language, nor do you need them, but was custom as part of the tutorial. Okay. 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 This is a good to know. Okay. So now you're able to run and see what it does. Once you can run your program, you can test it. Testing is a process. Yep. IDEs. Those steps on website program be installed. Like you said. Yep. Okay. So now, I think we can. Did I just turn that up? Excuse me? Oh, I did. Okay. Like I said before, when I ran through this the first time, I set it with Visual Studio, so I believe, yeah, we're going to go for VS Code though, if they support it. Okay. So we know what an IDE does. We'll install and configure a compiler and a linker for you. Others will allow you to plug in a compiler and a linker of your choice. Yeah. That's much easier. Okay. So that was question is which one? Mini IDs. Yep. Viewer favorites. If you have one in mind, that's cool. That's cool. We recommend installing an IDE that comes with a compiler and supports C17. So, if you're restricted to using a compiler that only does C14, many of the lessons will still work. However, if you encounter... So we want our compiler to do at least C17. You should not be using any compiler that does not support at least C11. Recommend install the newest version of a compiler if you don't know the version. Okay. So I think we have GCC and Clang already, because GCC is used for MinGW and UCRT, right? So I think I have both of these already. Okay. So they said to use Visual Studio, which I think is the reason why I did it. Code blocks for Linux and Windows. Code blocks. Okay. Okay. For experienced users. I would say that we're experienced, not in C++, but experienced as a software dev in general. So, yep, flexible open source. Yep, yep, yep. Downside, it's much harder to configure correctly than other ones on this list, and on Windows, harder to install before processing. We recommend read through. Yep, yep. Warning. Uh-oh. Does not have the complete instructions for VS Code. VS Code is not good for beginners, and Riz reported many different challenges getting code installed and configured correctly. Please do not choose this option unless you're already familiar with VS Code. I've experienced debugging configuration issues. Kinda. Might be fun to have the extra challenge too. We cannot provide stuff for VS Code on this site. Okay. Tip of the hat to user this. We're providing an initial draft of VS Code instruction across small code. Okay. VS Code instruction for Windows. How to install and set up VS Code for Windows. Yeah, I think I did this already. So, again, so this is using GCC. Clang. What if I want to use Clang though? Clang on Mac OS. Microsoft C++. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did this already. So let's just go through this and see. So this doesn't teach you actually about these things. Yeah. Okay. I have VS Code. I have the C++ extension. From Microsoft. Yeah. It's already installed. Installing the MinGW toolchain, which I believe I have. Yes, the MSys2, yeah. As of today's native builds of GCC, MinGW, and other tools and libraries. Those are provided with the necessary tools to compile your code, debug it, and configure it to work with IntelliSense. Okay. To install the toolchain. Okay, I did. Yep. Run the installer. Yep. Yep. All right, let's see. Just double check. Yep. Home. Was it G++? Yep. And was it GDB? GDB? Yep. Okay. So it looks like we're Gucci with all of these. You see the output that states, yep. That's not the case. First get project start. This is going to set up the tasks and everything too. Oh, it's going to let you debug it also. Oh. Oh, sick. Interesting. Okay, this is dope. Okay. Okay, sick. Let's do this. Yeah. Where are we in? Yeah, that's fine. Oh, that's not ideal. Oh no. Oops. Oh, I forgot that doesn't work on this. Okay, let's see. Do I want to do that here? It's not going to be a repo, I guess. Huh? Let's just call it. Yeah, sure. Is that spelled right? Yeah. Okay. Yep. See 3 files created in the VS Code folder. Okay. This is good to know. This is good stuff. So maybe actually what we could do, let's see how crazy this looks. Whoop up. And whoop up. We could close that down for now. And we'll do a little bit of this. Beautiful. And then maybe we'll get a little terminal going down here too. Always nice to have. So now it's seeing, see, it's even saying. Interesting. Oh. Oh. Well. Oh. There we go. Interesting. What was that? I did install Warp as well, so maybe Warp might be doing some stuff. Okay. Oh my god. So in the VS Code folder, we're going to get some things. So the tasks are going to be the build instructions. Tasks are going to be the build instructions. Launch is going to be debugger settings. And the properties is the compiler path and IntelliSense. This is going to be a good to know. Make some notes of that over here. Over here. Chicago. Okay. So let's make a new file. Okay. Sure. Oh, I forgot we're not on the second monitor. Okay. You have both the Microsoft Tools extension and client extension enabled. The Microsoft installs the features conflict with K. Oh, okay. Gotcha. So we'll see what they tell us to use. I'm guessing they'll probably suggest the Microsoft one, but a lot of people that I've been seeing online were using Clang, so we'll see. Now we'll use save. I think we have autosave on. Also the file you just added appears. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. open editors. I don't like that open editors. Of an insider's version, which lets you test new features. Yeah. Yes, I see you down here, bro. Okay. Help you code faster, more efficiently by coding new features such as code completion. Yes, yes, yes. So it's working, but this is what? Doing this now. Always show toolbar. This might be Codex. There's so many extensions and stuff added now. It's so hard to tell. Yeah. Okay. IntelliSense. Really the workspace take effect. Sure. Let's see what what do we think, guys? What's Reddit saying? What's Reddit saying? So it's superior because compiler accurate analysis, better handling of complex code, more precise code completion. Okay, that's what Gemini says. Oh wow, I'm getting tired by. Client has an issue with pairs. When was this? A year ago. Okay. Oh. He's beanless. What are you at? How's the game engine dev? Well, let me tell you. We're starting pretty early on. We're just going through the learn C++ tutorials right now. Just kind of getting a base level of C++ up to scratch before we dive in. But yeah, I like documenting, keeping track of how many days we're going to be spending on the actual game engine, because I think it's going to be a pretty big thing. I'm a Python developer by trade, and so learning a few of the intricacies or ins and outs of C++ is kind of what I'm at right now. I'm trying to make a game engine with no... Oh, trying to make a game engine with no C++ experience is like psychopathic. Good luck. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it might be a little bit aggro, but I do have solid like math and physics background, like with the linear algebra and all that type of stuff that goes into that. So I've done similar work in Python, and I have like an educational background and stuff in it. It's just kind of going to be getting my head wrapped around C++. I'm essentially building a game engine to learn C++ is kind of a big reason why I'm doing this. Doing the same thing right now, which as well. You're building a game engine as well? What's your experience? Are you using it to learn? Are you doing it for... Yeah, okay, sick. Nice, man. What's your game plan? You want to make a game? Okay, cool. So my question to you is, why build a game engine instead of using something like Unity or Unreal? For me, I don't really want to make a game. I'm interested in video games and I love video games, but I don't have an interest in like making the story and making characters and all this type of stuff. I just want to do like the math and the physics of the engine. you know? Unreal and Unity are proprietary. Yeah, you don't want to trust that my license will be altered. Okay. That's fair. I mean, like, there was a whole thing with Unity. Was it Unity this year? Where they did the change to the licensing, and that kind of was a little bit of an uproar. And I know Unreal might be a bit overkill. Godot is not enough. Yeah, that's fair. Unity was last year's. Yeah, the runtime fee. Ah, that was last year. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like, yeah, I know a lot of people using Unity. Unity is pretty common with indie devs, as far as I know. And even though they do charge a licensing fee, I mean, like, it depends on how deep you want to go. If you're, you know, a developer and you want to build your own thing by any means, or I said by all means, go for it. But yeah, I think people that like just want to make games and they don't want to be software devs and build engines, then using a existing engine is the way to go. Can I link stuff? Yeah, sure. I go for it. You can link me stuff. I'll open it on my second monitor. This is just basically my first stream in 5-6 years, so I have no idea what my channel permissions or restrictions or anything are on. So you can try to link it, and we'll see if it works. The runtime fee was literally insane. Okay, yeah, that's fair. All right, let's see. Let me see if I can open. Actually, we'll do this, and then maybe this. Let open over. Oh, cool. In OBS, it links it right in the chat window. That's wild. That's kind of crazy. Okay, can I go back? Oh, I can go back. Okay, cool.
Didn't know if you're busy tonight, but just view around. Give me a text.
What was that? Was that from Spotify?
Just view around.
Oh my god. I thought I opened your GitHub page while this person was talking in the music, and I thought you had like a video file on your GitHub or something. Okay, let's take a look. That's, girl, I wanted to copy the link. This is wild. 1 second. 1 second. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. Engine. This dude has made the best hobby engine from what I've seen. Sadly, not my GitHub. Okay. All right, got it. Jared. Oh, why does this sound familiar? Why does this sound familiar? Okay, let's take a look. What do we got? Got a couple stars on it. Beautiful. It's in C++. We love it. The Matra engine. Updated it last week. He streams sometimes. Okay, cool. He's making a tour. Like, okay, awesome. Oh, that's dope. Okay, cool. I'm gonna follow him on Twitch. Literally, I'm gonna do that right now. Excuse me. I'm gonna. What is that? His name? His stream name? Is it Jared X?
Second thought. Never mind.
64.
Things came up.
Okay, let's see. Jared. Oh no. Jared X. Oh wait, is this the guy? No, he's making a Terraria. Like, there was a dude that I was watching that's making something like what's it called? Legend of Zelda, like the old Legend of Zelda games, and that is pretty cool. 6 days ago. C++ game engine program strange. Okay, I'm following this dude right now. Deadly. That's so cool. Yeah. I forget what I asked you. Hamster or a Gaulion? Let me see. I'll get it for you. I thought it was like something 64 as well. That's why I think the name sounded familiar to me. Oh, here we go. Bilsu 64. this guy. So maybe he's not making an engine, he's just making. But I thought he made. I thought this was like a custom engine that he had built.
Know that what you're seeing is a noob just trying to make something they're passionate about. It ain't gonna be perfect, and it's gonna take time to make things look good. But the point of these devlogs isn't to show things as I want you to see them, but as they are. Even if that turns people off or causes people to say something negative. But anyways, let's talk about what I did this month, because
yeah, this is the game that I was thinking of. I think this is super sick. I don't know if he's making his own engine for this or what he's doing actually. Haven't heard of this guy, but this looks good. Yeah, it's really cool, and I like his devlogs as well. Like it's very relaxing. It's pretty good vibes.
I wanted to practice more art for my game. I
Edited
try to keep
well
things simple. There's not much to say since I'm
right. Like he's just making a Legend of Zelda game. Essentially, it's super cool.
Like pulling aggro or breaking pots or tall grass from afar. Maybe even finishing off a guardian from a safe distance.
Yeah, I mean he's only got 10k subs. But yeah. Take a look at him. Check him out. If you do, and if you find out if he's making his own engine or not, let me know. Beginning the journey. Oh, maybe we'll stay in here. Let me know if that's too loud for you.
I'll be working on in my spare time, and as the name suggests, it's my journey into learning game dev and building a world of my own. Welcome to Trinity 64, a passion project I'll be working on in my spare time, and as the name suggests, it's planned to be an N64 inspired action monster tamer inspired by iconic franchises like The Legend of Zelda. Art channel a lot of people to that I have always wanted to create a game. And apply them to
anyways, we're not going to watch this now, but yeah, this is the dude. It's pretty cool. And Jared, yeah, I'm following him now as well. I'm definitely going to check out some of his streams as well. Man, he's only got 60 followers. What the heck? What the heck? Jared, bro. Twins. Yeah, I'm going to check out some of his streams after my stream. That's dope. Yeah, he doesn't stream often. Yeah, that's fair. Does he make YouTube videos? Does he do devlogs or anything? I love watching devlogs. They're so entertaining, and I just get a lot out of it. They're a lot of fun. Devlogs, no commentary as far as I know. No commentary. Okay, so we'll just post. Like, will he? I guess like give updates on like what he did. So it'll be like, oh, this month I did this and this, but it'll just be text. I guess like he won't do voiceover or anything.
Hey, that's pretty good.
That's pretty dope. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, the devlogs are hard. Take a lot of editing effort. Yeah, he drops snippets of his game running. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Check that out I'll check him out on YouTube too. Dope. Thank you, Beanless. I appreciate that, man. Assuming you're a man. That's awesome. He drops snippets of the game running. Yeah. Okay, sick. Dope. It's Unreal. That's the Bilsu 64 guy? Or you're saying it's Unreal, like his snippets for... No, the Bilsu guy. Okay. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. It's cool how you can use Unreal to make it look like it's N64, you know? Like how you can make it, like the graphics look old. It's pretty cool. Because I think when people think Unreal, you think, you know, modern insane graphics. That's pretty dope. And so you were building your own engine as well, because you want to have your own engine for a game that you want to make. So what's the game that you want to make, and how's your progress with the engine going? How long have you been working on it, and how far into it are you? Very curious. I'm literally day 2 learning C++, so I'd be curious to know where you are in the process. This is dope. I'm gonna star this too. Come back to that. While you're typing out your answer, Where was I to? Oh, we were looking up Clang versus IntelliSense, I think. About a month in. Okay, cool. I have a renderer through OpenGL. Yeah, so I'm debating using OpenGL myself, running with SDL3, nice, as the framework for input and windowing. Okay, awesome. Dope. Yeah, I'm even thinking of just not using OpenGL to start and just do the raw rendering myself. Working on learning callbacks and design patterns for how to set up input managing. Input managing. Input. Writing is the framework for the input / windowing. So the input to the windows. I think that's good if you really want to learn and get a deep understanding. Yeah, for sure. I agree. And I think that where that's the game plan, that's like the goal, then it might be good to do that. But you're going to be really, really far from an MVP. 100%. Yeah, 100%. No, I'm aware. I'm aware that this is a very massive, very long thing. But that's the thing, is that if eventually, if I want to learn, Vulkan or Metal or something like that, then, well, I guess what's your opinion? If eventually I want to learn, or like DirectX or 11 or 12, would it be good to be coming from OpenGL, or would it be good from just doing it yourself? Do you think? Oh. The only reason I wouldn't recommend it is I don't think you'll make anything substantial on your own through learning, as it's opposed to learning it. Wait, hang on. I don't think you will make anything substantial on your own through learning it, as opposed to learning surface level APIs. Yeah, I gotcha. It's like learning OS dev. It's like learning OS dev to make your own OS. Yeah. Yeah, it's very deep. It's very nitty gritty for sure. I don't think that I was really for learning. Yes, exactly. Oh yeah, no, for sure. I agree. Like, and that's the thing as well. Like, I'm not trying to make a game engine that's going to be used to make a game anytime soon or anything. It's literally, this is just, I want to learn C++ more in depth. I have a working knowledge of it, but I want to learn more of it, the ins and outs. And so I was looking for an avenue and a direction to apply this knowledge as I start learning it. So that's why I'm just applying it towards a game engine. Like, learning is just, that's all we're doing. We're just doing it for fun. But I'm also completely unaware of what's possible. Hey, aren't we all? And nobody knows. Nobody knows. But, it's good to have your opinion and have your hear your voice. Because that's very fair. If maybe somebody was kind of doing what I'm doing, they're like, oh yeah, like I want to have a game out by Christmas, but I'm just going to build my own engine first, and then I'm going to work on the game and I'll get it out in a couple months. You'd be like, okay, bro, like, what are we doing here? Like, what's your game plan? Are you trying to build a game? If you're trying to build a game, this is not by any means the best way to go about it. Not even the slightest bit. Me, I just want a fun thing to direct C++ knowledge towards as I learn C++ is the goal. And I like math and physics and linear algebra and 3D rendering and all that type of stuff. So I'm like, hey, let's do it. I do think that's doable, not gonna lie. Oh, really? Okay. But it won't be Dark Souls. Yeah. Yeah, no. Probably wouldn't be Dark Souls. Maybe like closer to Pong. But who knows? That's dope. So what's your game idea, if you don't mind sharing? If you don't want to share, totally cool too. Curious as to hear what's the game plan? What's the game plan for the game? A core keeper like is one of them. I have a lot of ideas. Core keeper. What's core keeper? Is core keeper a game, or is core keeper a type of game? Like, when you say core keeper like, does that mean like Souls like? Indie game 2023. Okay, let's check it out. Core Keeper. Core Keeper. On Steam. Do I have? Is this it? Uh-oh. Okay, let's open this over here. Let me see. Core Keeper. Okay. Is this it? Is this it here? I'm guessing it is. Wait, hang on. Have I seen this before? Hang on. Hang on. Is the dude that made this on Reddit or something? Or was he doing indie, like, was he doing devlogs or something as well? This is looking familiar too. I swear I've seen this before. Indie game, it's on Steam. Yeah, most likely. Yeah. Yeah, this is publisher, developer, Pug what? Pug Store. Yeah, this looks really familiar. I think I might have seen this on Reddit, like Reddit Game Dev or something. Like Reddit like indie game dev. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like the like old school graphics with new school lighting tech and like particle effects on it. Like I think makes things look really pretty. It's really cool. You have like glowing particles with the pixel art. Oh, really nice. That's cool, man. Oh, that's cool. And that's the thing too. Oh, like, yeah. Oh, that's nice. You get some nice, you know, some water physics going on. Oh, that's so awesome. Oh, it's getting me fired up. That's dope. A lot of indie devs advertise through Reddit these days. Yep. Very fair. Yep. There's a lot of people on there. A lot of people on there saying, oh, I just made, you know, did you ever want to cross between, oh, excuse me, Blade Runner and Pokemon? Well, check out my game. That's dope. Yeah, so what are your, so this is good. So you're kind of working on, so I guess you have a bit of C++ experience yourself. I'm just getting it. So I'm getting it set up with VS Code because I'm not a fan of Visual Studio, but I love VS Code. So I think I'm just going to set it up with VS Code. I know it'll be a little bit more hands-on, but that's fine for me because like the point of this is that I want to learn about how the compiler works, how the linkers work, how, you know, like the debugger connects into everything. Like I want to know how all this stuff is working with each other, you know? If you have real in-depth software experience, learning lower level, then OpenGL is probably doable. Okay. Got it. I would recommend making something smaller first, like working the way into practicing abstraction. And swapping out units as you go deeper. Oh, so you're saying in building my engine in general, start with OpenGL and then swap out my own components? Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah, you very well could be right. I might get 1 week into this and be like, man, this is crazy. We're just going to go use OpenGL and we're just going to learn to make the triangle. Because even learning OpenGL is like, it's still like a massive thing, you know? So it's like still being able to set it up and understand all the math and everything that's going behind it. Like I might end up just using OpenGL, to be honest with you, because you still need to know, you know, like the vector math and everything to be able to be getting stuff. You know, it just pre-does some stuff for you, you know. Because Vec3, is that a C++ thing or is that a OpenGL thing? I'm not sure. But as far as I know, even when you're using OpenGL, you're still going to be doing... Are you still going to be doing math and calculations in that, or not so much? I mean, I guess you still need to know what's going on. I mean, here, look, yeah, you're doing dot products and stuff, so... This might just be like, this might be the Vec3, that might be the C++ built-in for vectors, I'm not sure. If you're going to learn WinAPI, which is totally worth doing, then start with SDL3, okay. So the WinAPI, that's for communicating with Windows. I guess with the operating system for like launching Windows and stuff. Got it. Okay. Or GLFW to not have to take the conversions. To not have to take the conversions you're learning. Just those heavy math. Okay, cool. So GLSL, that's the OpenGL shader language. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to learn more. Like, I love, like, you know, just like 3D graphics are sick. Like, it's so cool. Just everything about just, yeah, shaders and vector math and, oh man, just physics and, it just gets me going. It's so cool. Yeah, so like, even like, so this is what I'm talking about. Like, going from the points in space to drawing your lines between them to what's it called? Rasterizing? Like making your triangles from points, doing all these calculations. Oh, rasterization, there it is. Getting all your points. But then also conceptually in space, having the camera, how it's looking at a 3D scene, how we convert that into the 2D view onto the screen. Like, that is just so cool. That's what they're talking about here. Yeah. So that's why I haven't used OpenGL. So maybe I'll start by learning OpenGL and see how much quote unquote hand holding it does, even though it might not do a lot. But like, I love doing it. Like, this is what I want to be getting into and be doing. I love this stuff. Like, I just want to make my triangles in space and do all the calculating and linear algebra and all that. Oh god, it's the best. So that's why I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll just build it myself and not use OpenGL. But it depends on what level. It comes back to what you were saying about the abstraction side of things. Like, if all it's doing is kind of like setting up a framework for me to do my own math, then maybe it's fine and it'll just save me time. But if I just say, here's a point in space, or like, if I just say like render a box and it'll just make a box for me, then maybe that's too much. Maybe then it's doing too much. Because maybe I want to say, okay, I want to render a box. That means I want to make the 8 points in space, and I want to connect them all, and I want to make the shape, and I want to render it manually, if that makes sense, you know? I really wish I had that outlook on the math side. Yeah, it's a little bit, it's a little bit of something for sure. I did my undergrad in computer science, and I had a math minor, so I took a lot of these courses on this stuff. Never seen someone so enamored to see a vertex array. Yeah, I talk to my friends about it sometimes. They're like, oh, Mitch, are you going to talk to us about that nerd shit again? I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, just let me talk about vectors for a minute. Oh, that's hilarious. It does not do anything close to that. Okay. Dude, you have to see the code for Vulkan before you think about making your own. Yeah, so 100%, 100%, I should take a look at Vulkan. I agree. Because OpenGL isn't that bad, but Vulkan is a beast. Okay, so this is what I've heard. I've heard the learning curve for Vulkan is nuts, but this is my high-level understanding of it. OpenGL isn't as intense as Vulkan in terms of learning, the learning curve, what you can do. But Vulkan is very powerful, of course. But I'm approaching it from a level of not needing to implement like all the high level crazy stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm literally talking about just like I want to render a box and I want to render a light that shines on the box and then maybe something happens. You know, I don't need to like the technology of like, you know, like what was the thing I was looking at the other day? Like Rhino 3D. Now I don't know if this is related or not, but you know, just like kind of higher level graphical computing, you know, systems that are doing a lot of back end math and calculating and efficiency and optimization and all this type of stuff. Maybe I need to research Vulkan. You know, like I don't need to be doing this. Like in my head, I'm just like, I want to make a box. I want to be able to render it. I want to make a flat plane. I want to make a sphere. Okay, now that I have a box and a sphere, I want to have gravity in my scene. Now that I have gravity, I want to give the box and the sphere materials. Maybe it's made out of metal. Maybe it's made out of rubber. I don't know. And then I drop them both. Then they hit the ground. Now there's physics calculations going on. That's it. Kind of. That's kind of the extent of where I'm thinking about going, if that makes sense. I cannot think about how the box... I cannot think about how the box is not unimaginably hard to render in Vulkan. Okay. This is a triangle. Oh no. Okay. Let's see. So if I click this... Okay, sick. So this is the Vulkan Hello Triangle? No way. No way. This is just the triangle. So maybe it's not holding your hand really like much at all. By definitions, Hello Triangle, update, resize, acquire, create device, create graphics pipeline. Create the image, because I mean, but like this is also maybe not necessarily just drawing. Like if we're setting up a whole graphics pipeline around the triangle, I mean maybe this is what you have to do to render the triangle, which is fair. But how do I say this? Maybe in Vulkan you need to set all this up in order to render a triangle, because these are the minimum things that are required to render anything. That said, all of this stuff probably is now already there for when you want to render anything else, if that makes sense. I don't know if I really kind of get my point across. This is wild. Yeah, even OpenGL doesn't hold your hand. You have to do that render. You have to do that to render anything. Okay. So maybe I will just use OpenGL then. Because I just didn't want it to be... Because again, the reason why I'm not... You know, because I heard that you could use Unity and you could build your own physics engine and use it with Unity, essentially. And I was like, but like I don't want to have Unity doing things for me. Like I want to do it as manual as possible. But I think, yeah, you're definitely opening my eyes to... I'm going to need to do some research into what these actually... provide. Because I know that they provide a ton of things. I just didn't want them to necessarily do things for me. Let's see. Validates a list of required extensions. The extension on what? Not sure what that's for. Okay. So we got Hello Triangle. Don't release anything until the GPU is completely idle. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Headless is not supported. Keep this as simple as possible. Mm-hmm. Allocator, create the graphics pipeline. I want to see the create graphics pipeline. Okay. Shader folder. Got it. Create shader. Oh, what? What are we doing here? Huh? By the vertex input binding. Oh my goodness. Define the pipeline vertex input. Oh my goodness. I'd recommend downloading Godot first and making Pong or something at some point along the way. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea. Just to check and see like how a game engine is doing things. Might not be bad. I'll make a note of that actually. It's not a bad idea. Might take afternoon. Rip that real quick. Pipeline's baked. Okay. So we can delete the shader models. Okay, this is cool, man. This is cool. Yeah, this is the stuff that I want. But oh my goodness, what's going on here? We're creating an instance. Okay. Oh my goodness, debugging. Okay. Portability. Bro, we're building a triangle. If it's on Android, if we're on Windows, what the heck? So that's what I mean. Like when I go to build my triangle, if I were to do it raw myself, like I wouldn't do a bunch of this, but maybe this is not what's up with the what are comments in C++ again? Gotcha. When I see these, I think of comments because I think that's what they were in Python. Macros. Yeah, so I don't know what macros are in C++ context. Gonna have to learn that. Man. Portability to create the Vulkan instance. Initialize pointers for the instance. Oh my goodness. Initialize it for the platform. Oh my god. Render pass. Here we go. Render pass, baby. Create a render pass. Backbugger. Multi-sampled. We started the frame. Holy moly. Want the tiles to be cleared. We're ending the frame. Want the tiles to be read out. Okay, oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and read through this a little bit. This is cool. Create the render pass. Man, this is wild. So what's the... Okay, so this is the Vulkan stuff. I'm getting used to this C++ library, because their library is not packages. The library syntax, I guess, with the two dots. I'm so used to Python, you know, where it's like, it would be like import Vulkan as VK. And then further down, you could be like VK, like, what are they using over here? Shader module. You'd be like shader module. And then you could like do something on it, like, yeah, dot create, or you could like call it if it was a function or whatever. So getting used to this stuff will take a minute, but I'm sure it'll be fine. It won't take too long. Push back enjoy coding. Alright, cool. This is dope. Vulkan Vulkan samples. Oh, this is literally in the Vulkan. I guess this is from Vulkan itself. Kronos Group. I'm guessing that's Vulkan. That's cool. Damn. Oh, now I'm gonna go down a rabbit hole. Vulkan samples. So cool. Yeah, Kronos Group. Okay. What's Vulkan? What can you do with Vulkan? Yeah. Single thread. High level driver abstraction. Okay. The GLSL compiler and error detection. Yeah. Vulkan. The application. What? Multiple front-end compilers. Oh. Interesting. So, puts more responsibility into the application. Okay. Aha. You do whatever it takes because of mirror performance. Is your app CPU? Oh, okay. I got it a little bit. Not a lot of it. I got it a little bit. Okay. Application key images are fully optimized over Vulkan. That is cool. Okay, I'm gonna. Oh, God. Oh, there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. That is so cool. Let's just go back just for 1 second. What can we do with Vulkan? Just take a look real quick. There's a box of tools. Okay. So, for many use cases, choose to use a subset of functionality, which was designed so developer could use all of them in a single API. Okay. Yeah, so choose your graphics. Makes sense. Create hardware accelerated graphical applications. Yeah. Parallel nature. Oh. Can use the exploit GPU for computational time. Oh. Oh, sick. Oh, no way. So you can use the GPU for general computation? What? What? Okay. Yep. It's an alternative rendering technique. Why is it alternative? I thought a lot of things are just using ray tracing. I guess it's not necessary, but yeah, compute shaders are great. Yeah. What's going on with that? A compute shader. I wanted to look into those. So what's it doing? So it has ray tracing. Sure. Video extensions. Video decoding. Functionality in real time. Oh my goodness. And machine learning. Okay. That's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, SIGGRAPH. SIGGRAPH would be cool to pay attention to. SIGGRAPH just happened, didn't it? I think. Maybe last month, 2 months ago. Cool. Man, that's dope. Oh, no. to look into that now too. So yeah, I've heard the oh, Bean, let's join the Discord. Sick. Good to have you, dude. You are I think the very first person in the Discord. So might not be a whole lot going on in there, but the fact that you're in there now, I will be more active on it. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fair. Very fair. Well, I appreciate you checking it out either way. Yes, what I was saying, I heard that the industry standards are obviously Vulkan, DirectX 11 and 12 for Windows, and then Metal for Mac. And yeah, I've heard people have started with OpenGL because I've heard it's a little bit more beginner friendly, even though it's more dated. Feels like I showed up an hour early. Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. You might have showed up a couple months early. Who knows? It might be just me and you in there for a while. But then again, that's fine. That's fine if that's the case. But yeah, I'm gonna have to check and see exactly what OpenGL is doing for you. Is the takeaway, I think. Because if it's easier to learn than Vulkan, then it's like, what am I trying to learn at the end of the day? What's the priority of what I'm learning? You know? I guess that's one thing that I need to break down a little bit more. Way to go is OpenGL or Vulkan for efficiency time-wise. You mean OpenGL and or Vulkan as opposed to don't look at DirectX and Metal? Or do you mean like go OpenGL then Vulkan? Say both. Yeah, okay, fair enough. You say OpenGL, and I guess, I'm assuming OpenGL would be what you would look at first because Vulkan is, I've heard, pretty aggro. Depends on goals. Yeah, exactly. Depends on goals. Yeah, depends what we're trying to do, what we're trying to get out of things. So that's going to be the thing. Maybe I might have to ask the old chat GBT, see what he's saying. Like, hey man, this is what I'm trying to do. These are my goals. What do you think? But as game dev, you got to look at a bunch of factors. Yeah. That's the thing. Again, kind of comes down to that reasoning behind wanting to make the engine as opposed to just using Unity to make a game or whatever. At the end of the day, our priority is C++ and just linear algebra. It's kind of the two main things. Excuse me. Coordinate systems, math, lighting, rendering. Ideally then get into physics. I want to build a physics engine as well. Tack that on top. And again, it doesn't have to be crazy. Like just the absolute bare bones babyest thing and get a little thing running. And then from there we can make it better if we want to. But yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you, Beanless. Okay, so back to what we're saying. Are we using Clang or are we using IntelliSense and VS Code? I'm leaning towards Clang by the sounds of it. Syntax highlighting, go to source, and debugging. I want syntax highlighting. They both have that. I want go to source. They both have that. Auto formatting and linting. Linting would be good to have. Debugging. Yeah, it'd be good to. I thought Clang is good for debugging too. I thought. I recommend you use Clang and extension only for debugging. So basically disable IntelliSense. Okay. So I have the C++ extension. I think I did disable IntelliSense. Clang has better build times. Okay. That is pretty nice. Yeah, Clang's faster. That's what you're saying. Whoa. Yeah, and better linting. So better linting would be good. And the compiler warnings and errors, yes. I've heard that is an issue for people using the default C++ extension. Not knowing what's going wrong with the compiler. Might hang or crash. Breaks on some crazy code. Okay, I don't think we're going to be making anything too crazy yet. All right, so maybe, yeah, we'll just go to, yeah, we'll stick with Clang. We'll use Clang. See what happens. We'll see what happens. Beanless. I think I did deactivate IntelliSense earlier. So, why do you want to use VS Code over Studio? I guess just because I've spent my whole dev career in VS Code. I like it. Visual Studio, I haven't really used it, but I feel like the fact that it's an entire IDE and kind of the whole infrastructure together is almost something that I don't really want. Part of what I want to do is learn how to, I know VS Code is more like a bare bones editor and then you add the extensions in. So I kind of want to have that granularity to add my own things in, to be able to choose my own, compilers and bring in the linker and like see how it all works together. I'm sure in Visual Studio you could select your own compilers and stuff as well. But again, for me, this feels a little bit more hands-on. Then just from like a vibes point of view, I just think it looks way better. Like I think Visual Studio is kind of ugly and it felt not as nice moving around in. Another thing is that I have Codex. So I'll be able to use Codex built right into VS Code, which will be helpful, I'm sure. There's a few CLIs for it on Studio, which are fine and like they would work, but they're just not, I guess, the like OpenAI supported ones. They're kind of, I guess, like hacky solutions, which I always just have some reservations about, unless it's kind of more, I don't want to say like fully supported, but more like fully fledged, I guess. I think it was just kind of some guy made a little extension and didn't seem like there was too many people using it, so a little bit hesitant about it. What else? Not sure. Then I was looking at C-Line and stuff, but I've never used JetBrains products, so I didn't want to go down that route. And yeah, I think I'm just used to VS Code. I just like it. I think if it becomes too difficult, or if it's like, causing too many headaches, then maybe I'll switch over to Visual Studio, and then at that point I'll be better situated to compare and contrast and figure out which one I like better. But for right now, just out of the gate, I think I'm just going to try VS Code and see if I can use it until I hit a wall, essentially. That's my game plan. What about you? What do you use? Are you a studio guy? And what is kind of the industry standard, if you happen to know? What are most people using in industry? Are they using C-Line? They using Studio? They using something else? I use Studio, but I never used VS Code that much to get comfortable. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, again, like coming as a Python dev, like a lot of Python developers use VS Code, and then obviously you got PyCharm, which is the JetBrains. But I'm not a software engineer, but based on Twitch, most people are just using Visual Studio. Okay. Good to know. I mean, it makes sense. Like, I mean, it's kind of built by similar people. I've also heard that Visual Studio is older and not as well supported as VS Code, which also kind of makes sense because VS Code is like newer and lightweight, and they really named these things the same. I know, yeah, it's brutal. It's so funny. I was reading through some Reddit posts there the other day, just seeing what people were thinking about, the differences between code and studio. And there's a poor guy in there, and he was like so confused as to what everybody was talking about, and he just couldn't understand why, like, the differences that people were talking about. And then in one of the comments, someone was like, "Oh, just so you know, like, Visual Studio Code is different than Visual Studio," which is what we're talking about. And and this was like the OP, like the writer, like the original dude asking the question in the, on the thread. And he was like, "Oh my God, like, I didn't realize these are two different pieces of software." Like, I think he had them, confused with each other, or he thought they were both the same thing, which is totally fair. I think I did. I mean, at first, like similar logos from the same company, whatever. It's like, why would you call one Visual Studio and then just call the other one VS Code? Like, it's kind of silly, but they do what they want to do, I guess. Okay, let's just what time is it? 10:30. Let's do a little bit more. Let's just try to, I don't think we'll be able to get this all set up tonight, but this is the type of stuff that I wanted to learn with VS Code as well. Is that you can set up the compiler that you want and everything, and then you're using the tasks.json and the launch.json. So the tasks is for the compiler? No, for the build config. And then the launch was maybe the... See, I wrote this down earlier because this is the other things I'm going to have to remember. Task is for the build instructions. Okay. And then the launch JSON is for the debugger settings. The launch is for the debugger settings. Okay. And then the properties JSON is the compiler path and the IntelliSense settings. So I wonder, I guess I'd put my Clang settings in there too. Maybe that could work. Honestly, it's fair. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought too. Does VS Code have a build system built in? No. So it's all, you gotta do it all yourself. So like this is a Makefile extension, but then you can also get a C. So this is another thing, guys. I gotta learn the difference between CMake and Make to figure that out, because the Makefile is for when you're building, right? But CMake is like a framework for building Makefiles. Is that right? I'm not sure. But yeah, within the C++ extension, I thought that added like a debugger. Maybe it didn't. Because I had this working, or maybe it's set per project. No. Let me see something. Let me try something. Is it this? Might be this. Yeah. So this is a project I did. Was that found on your path? Clang language server is not found on your path. Would you like to download and install Clang? Yeah, sure, let's do it. This was what I did for an interview for a company. And I had this running locally, but it looks different now. Maybe I updated my extensions at one point. If we run and debug, is this, because I feel like this is like the Python debugger. Like, I don't think this is going to work. This is not what we want. Yeah. I wonder. Yeah, no. What's testing? Interesting. Containers. Oh, we got CMake over here. Oh, do we have CMake? What? So we don't have CMake over here. Boys, what are we doing? So yeah, this was a whole thing. So you can set up the config, build, test, debug. So what's there's that in the make? So this is build target, launch target. So the launch, again, the launch is, would this be the launch JSON? Make not found, make exe, build log. Like this is the stuff I gotta learn, I gotta figure out. And then what says compile the active files. So what's the main one? The detector? I think. No. Do I have a main? Yeah. So let's just try to compile, see what happens. Oh, unable to find compilation information for this file. So this is the type of stuff that I would need to set up. I ended up, I guess, I thought I had this one working in VS Code, but maybe I ended up just running it in. No, I used the MSys. I think I was using UCRT. I was building it down here. Yeah, like I would go in here and I would build it here and then run the program that way. I'm pretty sure that's how I did it. It's in the build, yeah, because we had it. And then I have, yeah, because then I made CMake files. Yeah, I gotta look into CMake. Cool. Anyways, that's why I want to start basic. I want to start nice and chill. CMake is a hassle. Okay, cool. Good to know. Maybe I won't use CMake. That'll come further down the line. We just need to learn the foundations. Okay, let's see. Let's just see if we got Clang working over here. I forget. There was the extension for it, I think, that we installed. Yeah, okay. So this is installed, and then we disabled IntelliSense. I wonder, is that its own extension that comes with the C++ package? IntelliSense. Oh, I think it's just built in. Yeah, it's built into the C++. Yeah. So this package is still running, but so this is another thing. Oh wait, okay, because so Clang is the compiler, but the extension I downloaded was Clangd, which is for IntelliSense and all that other type of stuff. CMake is a hassle. It's the best of the worst. It's the best of the worst. Okay, so not high praise. Okay, but it's still hard to come by praise for it. Okay, so do you use it? Do people use it, or is it like overkill? Like not worth your time? Yeah, people use it. Okay, so it's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. You're gonna use it if you got to. Once you get used to it, it's not that bad. Okay, that's fair. I think that's the thing. That's, you know, part of this as well. Part of this is going to be just getting used to stuff. But it really sucks, IMO. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of things that feel that way. You just kind of got to suck up. Part of the process, part of the fun. Another thing to air out on you, you know? Okay. CPC set a breakpoint. Okay. See, that's the thing. We don't have the drop down. That's what I was saying. I thought before I had that, Does disabling IntelliSense disable the... Oh my god. See, look, right off the bat, we're like, oh no. Can I see the settings for this? Oh my goodness. So yeah, IntelliSense is essentially its own. So is this disabled? This is already a thing. This is already a thing. But I don't think disabling IntelliSense should prevent the debugging. Does Clanged have debugging? I wonder. Oh. I don't remember if it did or not. Switch to pre-release version. Clags help develop code completion, compile errors, code definition, include magic, code formatting, silver factor. Okay, so it doesn't. It's just a language server. It doesn't have debugging. Okay, so it's based on the C++. However, you must tell Clang how your project is built. Oh god, compile commands file is usually generated by your build system. Okay, so this is probably going to be the first couple weeks of this is going to be just learning build systems and understanding what the hell is going on. It really is, yeah. Oh my. So Clanged isn't a debugger. Command adapter. Clanged. I could offer help, but I'll be honest, I only got it working. I don't really want to become a CMake expert. Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry at all, my man. You're doing more than enough, just hanging out, vibing, keeping me company. So, I gotta hang on. Oh. Is that? Yeah, okay. Okay. So let's go back to the C++. Well, that's here actually. It's because their stuff's not set. Oh, I skipped a bunch. Oh, I skipped a bunch of stuff. Oh my god. I just skipped down because I was looking at the tasks. I forgot. Oh man, I'm silly. I'm absolutely silly. Oh my. By the way, Beanless, I just want to say I appreciate you being here. Thanks for keeping me company. I'm gonna stick around for another, I think, 15 minutes. At 11 o'clock, I'm gonna knock off and start getting ready for bed. Just to give you a heads up. I remember this, yeah. Okay, you press the tab key. Yep. If IntelliSense is not already configured, okay. and select IntelliSense configuration. So I wonder if I can do that for clanged. Look at that. Download, there's a manually activate extension. Open project configuration file. Open user configuration file. Oh my goodness. Maybe I'll search a little VS Code clanged setup. Maybe we should just do that. Yeah. Maybe we should just make sure that clanged is set up properly. Okay. You plan on streaming this whole process? Yeah. Hell yeah. I wasn't sure if people would be interested at all, you know, just watch me just, you know, learn C++ from scratch or just debugging stuff or whatever, but I find for me, the main thing is that it helps keep me focused. So a lot of times I'll get distracted and I'll pick up my guitar, I'll go on Reddit, I'll go do something else. So at least when I go live, I'm like, even if there's nobody here, it makes me just lock in. So yeah, I'm going to be streaming the whole thing. That's the game plan. I'm multi-streaming, so I'm streaming to YouTube as well. So like the VODs will be saved over there. So yeah, that's the game plan. I really want to hear your thought process on linear algebra being applied in the rendering pipeline. Okay, dope. Yeah, when we get to there, we could definitely dig into it for sure. Because that's going to be like the meat and potatoes. I appreciate you saying that, man. Appreciate that you'd like to hear about it. That's going to be the fun part. I think that's going to be the good stuff, you know? Once we get windows set up, once we get points in space set up, once we get some shapes and objects rendering onto the screen and that, like that's going to be a lot of fun. Once we start getting into the math, oh man, that's going to be good. Like I got a little, like again, I was interviewing at a company recently as well. Where was this to? Slides? Like Google Slides. Oh, maybe I'll put this over here for a second. Here we go. So this is a presentation I did for an interview the other day where our dark reader's still on. Yeah. Where I made at my old job, I made a camera pipeline system going from 3 different pieces of software into each other to track. Essentially the thing is that there was a camera in 3D space and there were certain intrinsic values about the camera that were changing over time. Like the film back properties essentially. So I made a camera system essentially that accounted for these changes in the camera's value and then essentially set up a pipeline. So when going from 3D equalizer into Maya into Nuke, all these intrinsics about the camera as it was moving through space all stayed consistent from app to app. Yeah, there was some of the code in Python. But essentially, like what it came down to doing was this, just kind of like a bunch of like matrix math, where you have the P image is a point in 2D space, like on your screen essentially. And then to get that point of a pixel, what you need to do is you need to have a 3D point in the world, and then you multiply that by your RNT matrix, which is the rotation and translation matrices of the camera in 3D. And then that is like your extrinsic parameters of the camera. Essentially, you can think about that like both of those matrices together as where the camera is in 3D space. So you have a 3D point in the world, how that relates to your 3D camera, and then the K matrix is intrinsic values about the camera, such as like the focal length and the scaling and things like that. So when you multiply that value, or sorry, that matrix then by the rest of the stuff, then you get your point on the sensor of the camera, essentially, which you then render onto a screen. And yeah, that was a pretty fun project that I had to account for. Set up certain camera values within the Maya, and then this is in Nuke. This is kind of what the cameras might look like, and then you can see here in the 3D scene, this is kind of not really zoomed in very good. Can I zoom down on this? But you can kind of see how here, like you can see what the cameras would be seeing, and then how it overlays onto the scene in space that we're representing digitally, and then how we can use that to like reconstruct a scene, and it's a whole thing. And that's kind of outside the realm of, you know, this project that I worked on, but yeah, just kind of stuff like that. And then yeah, it's so that you can do this offhand. What do you mean offhand? If I were to have to build it right now from scratch, then, you know, it would take me some time. I mean, this project, I mean, I was working on this for maybe like 2 months at my old job. Like it took me a while to build it, but I wasn't just like, oh, I know what to do. Like I was going to figure it out. Like a lot of this was, you know, doing math and reverse engineering and trying to figure out things that were changing. Then also all these values, they couldn't be interpreted by Nuke, which was the third piece of software. So I had to build like kind of a custom JSON exporter that would bake all the values into a JSON, so that when we would export the camera and import it into Nuke, then it would read all the specific points, the intrinsic values of the camera at a specific point, and then do calculations on it, and then apply them directly to the camera within Nuke, because Nuke didn't have parameters for these values in its built-in camera, if that makes sense. So, yeah. Is the PowerPoint proprietary? Would be cool to read the whole thing. Not really. A lot of this is like changed values. Like some of it is, but some of it is like I like change the values of like what stuff is, and a lot of it is like kind of pseudo code. So yeah. But I could share it with you if you're interested. I could get you like a private link to you. It's not nothing too crazy, but yeah. And then maybe that was the company that it was for, because I was applying for a computer vision role at a company at the time. Yeah. Yeah, it was a fun project. It was cool. What we do? Okay, dope. Let me see. Let me put this on my other monitor. Let's see. Share. Only people with access can open the link. Anyone with the link can view. Anyone with the link can view. Copy link. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Beanless. Let me see. Beanless. I want to whisper it to you. Let's see. There you go. I whispered the presentation to you. Let me know if you can. Let me know if you can see it. Let me know if that works for you. I'll open this back up. Oh, it's bright. Oh, on Twitch, yeah. Oh, it's so bright. Oh, I turned off Dark Reader. I'm like, why is this all so aggressive? Yeah, I got thanks for it. Sweet. No problem, dude. Yeah, when you give it a read, feel free to shoot me a message on the Discord. I'll try to do a better job of checking in on that. We could chat about it if you're interested. But yeah, it was a fun project. It was fun talking about it, and yeah, dope. Well, I think on that note, my man, I think I'm going to call it a night here. I'm getting up early in the morning. So I think that's going to be it for tonight, which is good. I think we got a solid 2 hours. 2 hours done. I think we made a bit of progress. Beanless, thanks for dropping in. I appreciate it. It was fun hanging out. It was fun chatting with you. I definitely learned a lot, and it was good bouncing ideas back and forth, and it was good hearing your input on certain things. And it's pretty cool that you're making a game engine yourself. So like that's super dope. That gets me fired up. Yeah, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. I'll keep an eye on the Discord. Like I said, if you take a look at the PowerPoint, let me know what you think, or if you have any questions about it. Your game engine that you were working on, you didn't give me the GitHub for that, right? The one that you sent initially, that was the 64 dude, the one that you sent, and you were like, oh, this is like one of the coolest private ones I've seen before. Yeah. Oh, I haven't made one yet. Okay, perfect. No problem. I was just curious. Yeah, man, it's tough to find others doing this, so we'll keep in touch. Yeah, for sure. It doesn't seem like the people building their own game engines is like a massive community. So that's pretty cool. I'll definitely check out the dude that you sent earlier as well, and yeah, just try to start cultivating a couple of those connections. Like it could be fun to have, like, you know, within the indie game dev community, we get a little game engine community. I know on Reddit there's what's called like graphical programming subreddit, which is pretty dope. I can make one tonight. Yeah, man, no rush. Take your time. Whatever works for you. There's no rush on it, my man. Game engine devs exist, does it? Oh, let me see. Oh, game engine devs, yeah. Sick. Oh, that's cool. Twitch is kind of dry though. Like Twitch is dry for people building game engines, I guess. Yeah, I think I tried to look at it a few times, but it's like, I mean, already alone, it's like, you know, like the software development community is already pretty small, and then within that it's like game devs, and then that's kind of small, so that it's like people building a game engine would be pretty niche for sure. Only around 5% use CPP at all. Only around 5% of, well, like people doing software development, or what? Oh, this is cool. I'm going to follow this subreddit. That's dope. Join. Game engine devs. That's sick. I didn't know that. Oh, so cool. Oh no, I'm gonna go down such a rabbit hole. I'm gonna be reading all stuff in here in the next few days. That's so sick. Yeah, in the category. Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah, it's yeah. I mean, it just makes sense. Oh, that's so cool. I'm already looking at posts on here. It's already dope. Man. Oh, it's the Jared guy. The C++ hobby game engine showcase, the 2 years of development. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it's like text on the screen. It's, oh, sick. Engine supports mobile graphics APIs and client custom build configurations. Oh, I'm gonna take a look at that. Oh, what was that? universal shader language for automatic HLSL, GLSL metal translation. Damn, bro. Okay. Oh, this is it's the Terraria like thing. Oh wait, so hang on. So he's got the Terraria like stuff going on, but then what's on the go with the globe? Like with that globe, was that? Oh, something go with that. Is that within the same engine? Yeah, in the category, I did the same thing. Read like 10 other engines repos. Oh yeah, there's some good ones. Yeah, man, I bet. There's some people, man, that are absolutely cracked. That's one thing that I've always had a little bit of imposter syndrome with software development. Is man, there's some people out there that are just animals for it, dude. Like they're animals. Like they, like what is it? Like eat, sleep, and breathe. Just coding, and just some of them just have like the way their minds work just is absolutely cracked. And it's some of the stuff some people build, man, it is just so cool. I'm looking at this another rendering demo from a couple days ago. Oh my god, like I love this stuff. Like the graphics programming is so sick. It's so cool. It's got to be the coolest type of coding for sure. It's just, it's nuts. Like that, like computer vision stuff like that is just, man, it's so cool. I think it's a test example project for his engine. Okay. But I guess, I guess the thing that I was confused at is like, cause like how, so he, like you can render, he can have like the globe, but then also the Terraria looking world, like both. I guess I'm confused of it. Like I can understand it's both running in the engine, I guess, but like seeing it. No, I guess they're different scenes. Oh, we couldn't know because there's a third. Oh no, he has other scenes as well. Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if it was like a 2D engine or like a 3D engine or what was going on, but I guess it's like Unity or whatever. Like you can have it do multiple. I thought it was kind of specifically for Terraria, or like a Terraria. How do I say? Making Terraria like games essentially. So when I saw the 3D globe and that, and I was like, oh, what's going on with that? But I guess it depends on what he's demoing with it. Oh, that is cool though, man. God, yeah, we're gonna have to look into that. You can be better than 99%, and then you see the guy better than the 99%. The top 1% it shakes you. Yeah. Yeah, I guess there's always going to be people that are better than you, At the end of the day, there's always going to be people there's always going to be some dogs out there, 2D is very similar to 3D in the pipeline. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's fair. I just thought, I guess it was like a tailor-made solution, but that makes sense. Okay, Beanless. My man, I'm going to go. I think we could sit here, we could chat about this all night. I know I definitely could. I could sit here and just go through this Reddit with you and just chat about it. But and that honestly, that does sound like a lot of fun. That does sound like a good time. Maybe we'll do that another night. But I gotta get going to bed. I have volleyball tomorrow and Thursday, and then I have a party Friday. So I might be on. I'll definitely be on at some point the weekend. I'll be on either Saturday or Sunday for sure. Whether that's in the day, in the evening, I'm not really sure. Might be both days, but I'll definitely be on for a few hours the weekend. So I know you're in the Discord, so I'll probably send a message in there when I'm going live. I don't know how like notifications and stuff work on Twitch, but yeah. So I'll just shoot a message in the Discord. Anyways, I'm gonna head out. Beanless again. Appreciate it. You're the MVP. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for all the info. Thanks for the good chats. Thanks for the good conversations. Best of luck with your stuff, and I'm sure we'll be talking again soon. It's been good. Good luck. Thank you. You as well, my boy. You as well. If I don't see you again, all the best. And good luck. Good luck with all your stuff. I'm sure you're going to absolutely crush it. But hopefully we'll chat again. So I'm gone. Thanks again. See you next time.